Hi and welcome back. So after all that rain, and we're probably still going to be getting more rain, but after all that rain, the sun now hurts. It's very intense. It is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and it feels like the sun is just hitting me with volcanic lava. It's summer, so we're gonna go ahead and make this outdoors pretty quick because it's hot. We're going to do a little bit of gardening tour of what is in the garden right now, and it looks like I do have a lot of weeding to do. Still have onions, still putting that off every week. I've got more figs. None of them are ripe yet. But I do have them. A lot of new shoots on the fig tree as well, so that's a good thing. Potatoes are potatoes. These are the red potatoes. Okay, and my tomatoes are this tall. My tomatoes are blooming, so hopefully here we'll get some nice cherry tomatoes. I've got my one and only lettuce that is about ready to bolt. I still have no squash, lots of blooms, but no squash on that plant. So we'll see. This right here is Malamar spinach. This has a kind of like a mucinex feel, kind of like the okra does. And it's actually become a family favorite. These are all weeds. I do have some basil here. And a cucumber that is struggling. All right, I also have corn. I now have corn on my stalks, which is a good thing because I thought this was going to be done, but I don't know if we're going to be able to pollinate all these. I do pollinate by hand. I will take these, put them in my hand, kind of rub it a little bit. Then go down here and rub the silk. That's usually how things are pollinated on corn. If you don't have so many ears of corn, hand pollinating is the best. Now here is my okra. These bigger plants were planted about 2 weeks before these were. These are everbearing, and these are just regular standard. It does look like I am about ready to get some on these, which I'm excited about. This is a cantaloupe, and I actually have a bloom. Still have a lot of weeds though. So we'll be getting cantaloupe, okra, definitely the Malamar spinach. I've been wanting that for a while. More figs. I have sunflowers over here that will hopefully give me some nice big flowers here in a little bit. More cantaloupe. And I promise you, I've got peppers in here somewhere. There's a pepper. There's a pepper. There's a pepper. I need to get all these weeds out. All right, so I braved the jungle. I am now in where the grapes are. I do have some, but with all the rain and all of a sudden the heat and everything else like that, I don't think they're going to do that well. But I do see some ripe grapes that I'm going to need to pick. So, see how nice and done those are? I am going to need to get out here and find those because we do have a lot of birds and squirrels. Squirrels love these. Do have a lot of cleanup in here. I need to get rid of that. That is a yucca that I planted a while ago, and it's just getting out of hand. And then my honeysuckle is all on top. It is not draping forward like it has been in a while. I need to cut down all of the honeysuckle and let it grow, start all over again. And it will start all over again. I've been trying to get rid of the honeysuckle for 20 years, and it keeps coming back. So I started to embrace it, and now it's needing to be cut back again. So that is what I have right now. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter video, kind of, because my knees are killing me. I don't know what I did to have them hurt so bad, but usually it's my lower back, and now it's my knees. So let's go ahead and get back inside in the air conditioning and do something for food. All right, so now that we know what's ready and available in the garden, not much right now. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the rest of the cabbage that I have, make that into smothered cabbage, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that. So let's get started. First things first, we're going to go ahead and get rid of all the bad parts. And then slice it up into good chunk-sized pieces. They don't have to be perfect. They just need to be able to fall apart. Onion, same thing. We want to chop this up into about the same size pieces. We're going to also add potato to this, so same size pieces. Now, we are going, everybody's recipe is different. Some people use ham hocks. I'm going to use spiral ham slices and pieces because that is cheap. You can use regular ham, you can use bacon, pretty much any smoked sausage or type of ham, but preferably pork because that's the most readily available, and then that is also the most traditional. You can also use roast, pork roast, if you have one. I'm not going to use all of this. I am only going to use part of this, about half of it. And then cut these pieces up into smaller pieces. Now, whenever you're cutting this up, notice that it's pretty difficult to cut up the pieces and evenly. But you kind of want just bite-sized pieces. About that. And we're going to go ahead and put it into our pot. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get this all nice and browned up and fried. Put this into a bowl, set it aside. Then we're going to add our veggies to the same pot. Alright, now that we have the ham all nice and browned, we do have the little bits at the bottom. We do have the little bits at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and add the veggies. Now, we are going to go ahead and steam, kind of, sort of, the veggies halfway between steam and boil by adding a cup of water to the bottom. That'll help deglaze the bottom of the pan. I'm also going to add some of my garlic, about that much. You don't want to overpower this with the garlic because there's so many flavors to meld with that you kind of want to sort of give it an even taste. About a teaspoon of salt. About the same for pepper. About a half a teaspoon of cumin. Teaspoon of thyme. Pinch of, I want to say paprika. I do know I have some around here somewhere. I just bought some. No idea where I put it. So we're going to use an Edo. Just a pinch. About a teaspoon of sage. And about a teaspoon of fennel seeds. We're going to go ahead and give this a good stir. Put the lid on it and let it steam and cook down. And you want this on medium. Just keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. And stir every once in a while. Now that that is all nice and boiled and cooked, cooked all the way through but not mushy. You can add the ham back into this, and that is smothered cabbage. You can let it rest a little bit and mingle a little bit more and cook, cook everything. But I'm going to call this done because honestly, I am not feeling well. I am going to go ahead and put this over rice and call it a day. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.